Hi, this is Obed Waldo, and I'm leaving this recording as just kind of a last message to my family because I'm not 100% sure what direction it's going to go tonight, but I just wanted them to know I love them, and just wanted to tell them what's going to go on. I have a good friend named Gideon, and I don't know really what's come over him, but he's usually a pretty quiet guy, pretty shy guy. A lot of times on playground he would always just kind of shy to the corner whenever there was a conflict, but for some reason he's decided that he's going to do something. And I said, what do you mean do something? He says, things have got to change. I'm like, what things? And it turns out the other night him and a couple other friends, they went out and they tore down the Asherah pole and they tore down the altar to Baal, the places of worship that our fathers have taught us to go to. And don't get me wrong, I don't believe in all that stuff, but who cares, just let it be. And for some reason, he went out and tore that stuff down. He said, this isn't right. We're not going to worship stone and wood. We're going to worship the true God. And I'm like, okay, fine, but you don't have to tear that stuff down. He goes, no, we need to tear it down. God told me to tear it down. I'm like, ooh, God told you this thing. But anyway, so he tore it down, but then the next thing he did is he took the same wood that he tore down from the Asherah poles and he made an altar to God and burned a sacrifice on it. So he did it in the middle of the night so nobody could see him, but then he made this sacrifice which lit up a flame using the wood from the Asherah pole and the altar of Baal. And it's like, dude, you're just advertising some trouble. And of course, everybody's mad at him and not liking him very well. But then all of a sudden he just starts taking charge of everything. And the Midianites have been on us for quite some time, and they've been oppressing us and they've taken our food, and we even have to. Gideon and I would go out and thresh the wheat, but we don't want to do it out in the open because then they'll just come in and steal all the wheat. So we've been doing it in the olive presses, and it's hard work because it's not very effective, and the Midianites would just come in and steal stuff and all that. Well, they have been kind of on us all this time, and all of a sudden, like immediately after the Asherah pole got ripped down, all of a sudden the Midianites are on the move. Like they've crossed the Jordan now, and they've come over to where we're at, and because of that, we're all kind of a little bit nervous. I'm gonna shut it down for now. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I heard a strange noise and it kind of freaked me out, so I wanted to get out of there. Anyway, the Midianites are on the move and they've crossed the Jordan. They've come into the valley of Jezreel, and it feels like they're getting ready to attack. And I'm scared. I'm really worried about this. And my friend Gideon, you would think that he would be scared also, but for some reason, all of a sudden, he's got this confidence, and he's actually called people to arms. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You're going to cause some more problems, and the Midianites are going to get mad. And he's called people to arms, and he's a good friend of mine, so I decided I would go, and I grabbed my hoe and my rake and I have a little machete, and I went out there with a lot of people. There was 32,000 people out there, and we all started gathering together, and we're looking at Gideon. It's like, what's the plan if we're going to fight these people? I wasn't very confident. I was actually pretty nervous because they have 120,000 soldiers. We had 32,000. That means I have to kill 3 or 4 people by myself before I die in order for us to win, and I just wasn't very excited about that. So we're there like, Gideon, what's the plan? And he didn't say anything. He just kind of stared. And all of a sudden he says, you know what? If you're afraid, go home. And I'm like, what? Of course we're afraid. They have 120,000. We only have 32. He goes, no, if you're afraid, go home. And I'm like, okay. So I grabbed my stuff and I went home. And it turned out like 22,000 people left. I'm like, Gideon, what is going on? And I texted him a little bit and I said, Gideon, how many people are still there? He said, only 10,000. I'm like, golly, that's not very good odds. That means you're going to have to cut 12 people per person in order to win this battle. This is not good at all. And I think Gideon's lost it. I think maybe he's in trouble. But anyway, I told Gideon, I said, you need to get out of there. You need to stop this thing before it gets any worse. And we'll just give the Midianites what they want. We'll just leave it all alone. And anyway, he texted me back and he said, no. He said, in fact, God's told me that 10,000 is too many people. Hold on. I got to go again. I got to go on. Sorry about that. I think we're really close to getting into battle, and it's making me really nervous. And I heard some ruckus, and I think the Midianites are coming through my village, and I just had to get out of there. I was really scared. Anyway, I told Gideon, I said, you need to stop this, and he just said, no, this is what God wants us to do. And I just got a message from my friend, and he said basically they had 10,000 people there who were still willing to fight, but Gideon said there was too many. And so he told them to go get a drink of water out of the creek. I'm like, what? And they went to get the water, and apparently, I don't know what happened exactly, but apparently 300 people lapped the water up by their hands, and the other ones knelt down on their knees and drank the water out of the creek. And I'm like, so what? Who cares? Which way do you drink your water? It doesn't matter. But for some reason, Gideon said, whoever lapped the water out of their hands, you guys can stay. The rest of you go home. And I'm like, who cares how you drink the water? That's not a battle strategy. And yet at the same time, Gideon said, you guys go home. 9,700 people went home. That's not good. That means there's only 300 soldiers left. And 300, that means there's going to have to kill how many people? I don't know how many people that is. It's a lot of people they're going to have to kill just to win this battle. And that's not going to happen. There's no way that's possible. I just don't know what to do. I'm scared. The thing is, I admire him. I admire Gideon because he continues to follow what God tells him to do, which I think is crazy. None of it makes sense. But he keeps doing it and doing it. And the last I heard, the Midianites are scared. Some of them had a dream that a big old boulder came down and rolled into their camp and destroyed everybody. And they're freaking out. They're there, 120,000 people against 300, and they're scared. And I don't understand it. And yet at the same time, I admire Gideon for his willingness to do what God tells him to do, as psychotic as it sounds. So I don't know what to think. Oh, wait, hold on a second. I got a message. Oh, no, the battle has started. It's a friend of mine. He's actually kind of on the hillside watching. The 300 guys have gone down, and they've entered into the camp. He says there's some trumpet blasts. They're breaking pottery. And they're yelling. That's it. That's their strategy. Oh, my gosh. Uh-oh. Wait, what? My friend just told me that they're running. The Midianites are actually running. They're fighting themselves. They're actually killing themselves on accident. And they're running. They're running? They're running away from 300 people? That is crazy. I cannot believe it. Oh, really? And now Gideon's saying he wants us to come and start pursuing them. I guess I'll do that. I guess Gideon was right. I guess Gideon really does know what he's talking about. Following God is hard, but it's right, no matter how hard it gets.